Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to my brother's Scan and Cut tips and tricks tutorial where you will learn how to cut out patterned paper. The patterned paper we'll be cutting out is called Wonderful World. Makes me want to sing the song. This paper is a dream come true for Scan and Cut users. I'm going to explain where to get this paper, how to get this paper, and show you what it looks like in just a minute. But first, I want to give a shout out to my YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. My channel, Paper Chef, just reached 33,000 subscribers. So I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting my channel over these years. And I believe I'm up to about 709 videos. So that's pretty cool. And many, I guess many, like I can't even tell you how many, probably several hundred. I know probably about 400, probably are about on the Scan and Cut. Because at one point I had over 300. So I'm guessing 400, but who knows. All right, so Wonderful World. Let's do this. Thank you, Lala's Crafts. Say hi when you come in. What I want to do is this. I want to just tell you about the paper a little bit. Then I'm going to go back to this later. I can't open this brochure yet, but it's a free pack of paper. It's from our sale-a-bration brochure. I'm going to explain kind of like how you get it because it doesn't come by itself. It comes with other things. And what I want to do first is just show you how to cut out this piece here. So I will show you what the whole pack looks like, but I want to jump right into the tutorial by cutting out. I'm going to be cutting out two pieces today. I'm going to cut out small flowers, which are going to be like this, and we're not going to outline them. We're just going to cut them out as is. I'm going to cut out large flowers, and I'm going to show you how to outline the flowers and create an extra layer using cardstock. So that's what's in store. If you're new to my channel, at the end of my videos is when I share projects. I like to just jump right into the tutorial aspect. And because I need this paper for, I need some full sheets of paper. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this upside down. It doesn't matter when you scan, whether it's right side up or upside down. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it upside down because I've already cut half of the sheet. And I'm only going to be cutting the top half of the sheet. So we'll be showing you what that looks like. So to the Scan and Cut, it doesn't care which way your patterns are going because it's just a shape to the Scan and Cut. So when you turn on your Scan and Cut, you're going to see pattern and scan. And I'm going to have to use like the reading glasses here because who knows where the stylus is. I don't even know if this will work. We're going to click on scan, okay? And then we're going to click on direct cut. So what we're going to do is directly cut out these. Now, it is evening and it's dark. So I don't want to keep this light on. This is my video light. Because when I calibrated my Scan and Cut, I didn't have any extra lights on. So I am only going to leave the overhead light on in my house, the one that I used when I calibrated the Scan and Cut. If you ever wonder why you have like a weird amount of white space, that's uneven, maybe you're trying to cut something out and you have like, a weird amount of white space on one side versus the other, it's because your machine is not aligned properly using the scanning cutting position adjustment. So I just did that and I did it without the overhead lights on. So the next thing you want to do is you're going to say where you want to temporarily store this information. We're going to select the machine. I'm going to go ahead and click start, and I'll talk more about the recognition mode in a little bit, and I'll talk more about why I use the top half of the page. So bottom line is you could, in this STX 125 machine, which is what I'm using, I could actually scan in the entire 12 by 12 sheet, but because my objects were all on the bottom half of the paper, I decided to just scan in the top half of the paper, as you can see. I'm going to show you where to change that setting in a little while. The first thing I'm going to do is because these flowers in my middle row are only partially selected, rather than me having to delete them all, it's better that I just go ahead and make a selection and get rid of those partial flowers. Because all I would do is I won't be cutting them out anyway, and I don't want to have to delete all these extra bits. The next thing I want to do to get rid of unwanted bits, so the first thing to get rid of unwanted bits of things that you don't want to cut out is to create a selection. By the way, I'm done scanning, so it doesn't matter now if I turn on my light again, because after you're done scanning, it doesn't matter. It's going to cut where it remembers. So now what I'm going to do is ignore object size, so I can get rid of the small objects that are maybe selected around the side of the mat. Like these two flowers aren't selected all the way. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some unwanted bits. Now you don't want to go too big on the ignore object size. if your flowers are small. Like my flowers are pretty small. If I ignore objects that are too large, I'm going to be ignoring the very flowers themselves. And that would not be good because I want to cut them out. I don't want to ignore them. I'm going to click OK. And the flowers are still not quite selected correctly until I put an outline distance around them. The outline distance is going to be forgiving. It's going to help take this separate flower petals that have been separated in the scanning process, like this one and this one, and it's going to kind of meld them into one and make each little group of flowers one object. And I can cut out the clump of flowers that way, like this, giving me great embellishments that I need. Still not quite ready because the top flowers, they didn't all get selected correctly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out just these 2 rows of flowers. So we're going to go back, and I could go back and just edit those out like that. It might be easier. Or, let's make sure. I might have to go and do that outline distance. Yeah, I have my selection of just the 2 rows. I don't want to deal with and mess with partial flowers, but I still want to teach you what I did. So I'm going to go ahead and put that outline distance around them. Gives it a little bit of white space around it. Now we're going to click OK, and you're going to see that if I had any flowers selected at the top or the bottom, I can go at this point go in and edit them. Whatever I want to trash, I can click the trash can. Here are the things that are being selected right now, all the flowers. As I toggle through, the flowers are being selected. If I don't want to cut them out, I can click the trash can. But let's not worry about it because we want to cut those 2 rows. And so we're going to go ahead and select cut. And we're going to have at it. We're going to click select cut. It's going to take a couple minutes. I can show you the papers. I'm going to select start. You're going to get to watch the process while see kind of what I do. Again, the light. See what I do? I'm giving it a little rub because the mat is not very sticky. Once it gets going and gets this, it still shouldn't move. But I could also put a little bit of tape. I'm making sure that these come out okay before I lift my fingers. You'll see it's coming out perfectly, so I'm okay. I also like to give it a rub sometimes just to make sure. If you want to know how to restick your mats, I have videos on how to restick your mats, several videos on that as well. But I just worry that the mat is going to... Now, don't get your fingers caught under this roller. Just kind of worried, that the mat will kind of lift up. All right, wonderful world. It's a wonderful world. All right, here's the paper. It's double-sided. I have to look at another sheet to tell you the coordinating colors. It's by Stampin' Up. You can't buy it. You're like, what? You can't buy it? No, it's a free item. You can't buy it, you can earn it, meaning it's a free item. You get it during our sale-a-bration. That's one side. Oops, there goes my flower. It flew over the top of my machine. That's another side of the paper. The reading glasses are all the way over there. Okay, Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo. Look at this awesome paper. Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow. These are the coordinating colors, by the way. Orchid Oasis, Pear Pizzazz. That's my favorite paper. That's my favorite piece of the paper. Rich Razzleberry, Sahara Sand, and Starry Sky. This is not one I would cut out. It's just way too busy. There's another piece. It's just fantastic, the little flowers. So when I don't cut out real small patterns like this, because I use these more for card backgrounds. Let me check on my paper. It's doing good, but I got to give it a rub. It's like rub the genie bottle. Okay, here we go. This one I also use for little card elements and backgrounds because it's small. This one is great too. But because they're all connected, it's not suitable for ScanNCut when you have one big image that's all connected. For ScanNCut, you want to use images with well-defined outlines. These would work, but the patterns are too small. So I use these for card elements. This is the piece we're cutting now. And you can see how well it's doing. And look at that, because each flower is separate with a lot of space around them. This is a dream. If you've never cut pattern paper, this is your paper to start with because it's a dream for ScanNCut users. All right, so we're done. And now I can go ahead and tilt my camera and show you our result. So happy with the result. First thing you want to do is peel your paper off. Okay, so peel the paper off. These are the ones I cut earlier. You're going to see what I made from them. These are the ones I cut now. I'm going to get rid of these sections, and I'm going to, well, actually, I'll probably die cut some of these. Like, this is the Flirty Flamingo color. I'll probably use the other side for some elements. But what I'll do is I'll chop this section off and just scan and cut this row later. Or I could even use it as a card element in itself, which would be nice, just like a row of flowers. But I love having 3D embellishments. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to unload the mat using this button here. This button, unload. Come on, unload. Okay. Oh, there goes the flowers too. I was looking for that fell down. These are the ones we're doing later. All right, put this up here. So now, to get these off the mat, you can use the spatula, but I find it way easier to just do this. I find this is just so much easier for me. This is how I actually get them off the mat. I just bend the mat a little bit, pull them off. I find it way easier. So, I mean, just awesome. So let's put these on a different color background so you can see this. And you can just see, like, you can just make your bucket of crafty goodness all day long, have all these pretty flowers, use them to decorate with. One of the greatest things about Stampin' Up, I think, is just the coordination of colors. And you can then, the stamp set that is in this bundle doesn't even have sentiment, so you can use the flowers that are in the bundle, the paper, and then use any sentiments you want, and coordinating cardstock, and just go to town with these flowers. So you saw how we did this in like less than 3 minutes. So imagine trying to cut these out with your scissors. No way, Jose, no way, right? I'm not going to do it. It's just so much easier to not cut them out. All right, now let's go, and we're going to do the next paper. Let me go with this. I'm jumping right into the next part, since I showed you the paper. So now we need the big piece of paper I had with the big flowers on. This is the one I want to cut out, but I don't want to cut out. I just want to cut the other half of the one I did earlier. This paper is just so amazing. I didn't have to do any pencil tricks. I didn't have to do, I mean, if you've been watching my ScanNCut tips and tricks tutorials, you're like, what? No real tricks? I usually show pencil tricks, acetate tricks, washi tape tricks. I mean, I have to pull out all the stops to make this stuff work. And I do, too, and I make sure it works. So now I'm going to show you, though, that you just got to load this paper in there, put it on your mat. Now, I will show you, and this is a different kind of washi tape trick. I'm just going to show you, like, say you want to put a little piece. I'm just getting the piece I have of tape on here just to hold it down. Wait, actually, I'm going to put it down here because below the 6-inch mark, or down here where I'm not cutting out. So I'm just kind of holding the paper in place a little bit. I don't want to cover these registration marks just yet. But that's another use of washi tape, just going to rub that in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load the paper. I'm going to load it up over here. And I'm going to show you this part. Now I'm going to turn off my light because I'm about to scan again. So we're finished cutting the other one. We can go back, right? Go back home, or just hit home. It's going to erase everything. So about to scan again. I'm turning this off, turning off the extra light. So now we're going to do this with the big paper. We've already talked about this. We're going to do it the same way with the big flowers. We're going to click on See Pattern and Scan. We're going to click on Scan, and we're going to click on Direct Cut. Direct Cut because we're going to directly cut out these flowers. We're not going to save them anywhere. We're going to cut Direct Cut. We're going to use Direct Cut. We're going to store it on our machine. That's asking us where the temporary storage is. Now let's talk about these settings here. The area that you can scan is either 12 by 6 or 12 by 12. I think that the 12 by 12 is not necessary right now because A, I've already cut the bottom part of the mat. B, I tend not to cut the whole paper at once. I like to see how things work out. And then maybe if I cut the whole paper, I might use 12 by 12 later. But I'm just using 12 by 6. You don't have this option on a CM machine. You're going to have to just use the 12 by 12. That's the only option you have. Even if your flowers are, say, in color, like these flowers are in color, do not use color recognition mode because you have such great contrast between the foreground and the background. There's no need to waste your time using color recognition mode. It takes a long time. So this is black and white recognition mode, and this is color. So don't use color. Very rarely do I use the color mode, and I have told you when I do that. We're going to click on Start. So this time, for this purpose of this tutorial, my paper got stuck. You're going to see what it's telling me to. It's telling me to lift up my lever. I shouldn't have to lift up my lever. Try again. My paper just curled up on the right side. Hopefully, it doesn't make me lift up my lever. Yeah, so Lala, you can cut these out later. I'm glad you already have the paper. Those of us that are demonstrators, there are 55,000 in our community of demonstrators, at least, maybe 55. We're opening in new countries now also. We're going to start in Belgium and Ireland soon. I think that'll bring us up to 13 countries. Those of us that are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators are already allowed to buy this paper. And the rest of my customers, and I'm a U.S. demonstrator, so I only have U.S. customers, the rest of you can get this on July 1st. So those of you that say you have it already, that means they're already a demonstrator, which is awesome. One of the perks of being a demonstrator is being able to get things first. So we're going to click OK, and it's scanned it in. Now, we have some extra stuff going on over here. All I want is the big, large flowers. I don't want this partial flower, any of these partial flowers. I could, try to select them out by drawing a rectangle, right? But no, let's not do that. Let's instead ignore object size. If we ignore objects this time, these flowers are huge. We can go ahead and ignore things like an inch or a couple inches even, and we still won't make our big flowers disappear. So we're pretty safe to say, let's see, I'm just going to say like 1.75 or so, or 1.73. That means that I'm ignoring all those small bits, so I don't have to select them out. But then I'm going to still select the big giant flowers that I want to cut out. Click OK. This one here is not going to be all the way selected, so we're going to get rid of that. I'm just going to focus on these two right now. So let's just go like this, just to save time. We're going to click on that. We're going to go Preview. And see, all I want are these two big flowers, because I want to show you how to layer them. I think we got them. We're going to click OK. And now I'm going to click on this, and we're going to add an outline distance of 0.04. That will give us that little white outline around the edge. And when I click OK, hopefully I just have those two flowers only. We're going to see when we see the shape. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Two flowers. I can go ahead and turn on my light again. Doesn't matter, because we've already done our scanning. And I can select Cut. I can then cut out the flowers. And the camera won't have to be so close to you now. That little bit is getting on my nerves up in the top corner. It always pops up in, it's usually worse in the left corner, but this time it's up in the right corner. So please don't move. I want my paper to move. See, it did a little funky thing. You can't see it, but it just did a pause. And I'll tell you what I did to make it go forward. It's telling me that the paper's too thick and I had to move the lever up. Well, the paper's not too thick at all. The paper's like tiny, just designer series paper with, and if you were using, say, a CM model, you would only need a blade depth of 3 to cut this paper. This is really thin paper. However, as compared to cardstock. However, it thinks because that edge just popped up over there, the edge that's annoying the heck out of me up there, it thinks that the paper's thick. So it made me change the lever. And I said, okay, so it paused and it said change the lever, and I changed the lever, and then it did its thing. So I will show you how I changed the lever. You don't have a lever on the side for very thick materials like you do on the STX machine if you're using a CM model. All right, so let's show you how far we've gone. Okay, let's do this. Put that, let's lift this up. Oh la la, you're gonna freak when you see how cool these flowers are. But first, we're not gonna move those flowers. I need to tell you where to put something else before you put those flowers anywhere. So let's first talk about this. Let me turn this, well, I got the camera the right way. And you could see that there was a lever. So in the middle of trying to cut it, it said, oh, your paper's too thick. It said, let me move all this junk. It says, oh, raise your lever up to 2. And I said, okay. I raised my lever up to 2, even though I didn't need to. I shouldn't have to. I had to listen to it because it thought, because the paper was buckling up in the corner, it thought the material was thick, and I had to that's the only way it was going to move on. Now, let's move this, before you take these off, you want to kind of note mentally where this is. So say you're going to take a piece of, I thought we'd take a piece of Orchid Oasis. It's one of the coordinating colors. It's one of our in colors. Check this out. Ooh la la, right? Look at that Orchid Oasis coming out of you could see it popping off the page when I talk about color coordination. Orchid Oasis cardstock, Orchid Oasis flowers. Now, you want to put this somewhere. I'm going to be outlining the flowers. So what I want to show you next, the next tip and trick, is how to layer these flowers. So you have your flower, you've cut it out the same way we cut out the small ones earlier, right? With the outline distance of 0.04. Now we wanted to make this layer. This one's, by the way, rich raspberry, one of the coordinating colors. We want to do something like that. You can go thicker, but I went for a 0.08 outline distance. So when you put a little extra outline distance around your flowers, you give them much more dimension. And another thing we don't have to cut. But before you take these flowers off, which is easy to take off, you want to mentally put, okay, make sure I put my cardstock right here. You can move it over here, maybe to the first line, like first inch over, but you can't go to the second inch over because it won't be covering the spot, right? I can't go down too far. So kind of make a note of where this cardstock needs to go. So let me get rid of all these little bits. And I'm going to grab some washi tape. So I know that it can go an inch over and right here. Now I can go ahead, because it is cardstock and because my mat's not very sticky, we're going to go ahead and put some tape on it. We can do that now. And I don't need to worry about any overhead lighting because we're not scanning anymore. What I'm about to show you is just cutting. I'm just cutting. It's only when you're scanning you have to worry about weird lighting. When you're cutting, you just have to worry about things slipping. And other than these little things that are annoying about the ScanNCut, it saves us time. It's totally awesome. And everything I'm doing right now is right out of the box. I don't need to be connected to the internet. Nothing. It's so easy to use this machine right out of the box. I show everybody how to use this when they come over, and it's like, they're like amazed at like, what do you mean you don't need to be connected to any? Now, you can connect to the internet, and I do have courses on ScanNCut, but, and in the Canvas Workspace software, et cetera, but you don't need to be. All right, let's do this. We have the very important thing to remember about this, and thank you guys for your congratulations on my channel. I'll be saying hi to you all in a moment, but I appreciate all your wishes. The important thing to remember is that what I just did right now, I just changed the paper out, stuck cardstock on the mat, right? Click OK. I did not unload my mat. I did not mess with anything, because if you unload the mat, there goes the memory of these little guys, because I'm using what's called direct cut. So when you're using direct cut, you don't want to unload and kind of like do a brain flush. What's it we call it? Is it a brain flush? Anyway, you don't want to unload it. So go back, and you're going to click on this little button here that says outline distance, and you're going to do, it says 0.04. Oops, that's too big. Actually, it's not too big. That would be cool too. 0.12. See how much of an outline distance that just made? But I'm going to go to the 0.08 because I want to be consistent with the ones I just made in my samples. So 0.08, we're using Orchid Oasis. Click OK. We're going to cut this out in cardstock. If you're using a CM machine, you can go ahead and set your blade depth to 5 when you're cutting cardstock. Because I'm using the SDX 125, I don't need to set my blade depth. Because my blade is an auto blade. See, it doesn't have a number on it. There's no numbers on this blade. I'm just going to, even though I have washi tape on it, I am still making sure that this cardstock does not slip. So I was crafting with my nieces and nephews, right? Or my niece and my 2 nephews. And if you are into kids' crafts at all, please check out my Robot Buddies video I just did. They did the Robot Buddies card kit. It was so cute. But anyway, they used up like almost all my in-color cardstock I had. Like I didn't even have full pieces. They were cutting it apart. It was cool as can be. They like color coordination too. But I didn't even have a full piece of this. That's why I'm like, please. Well, I have a full piece, but I'm saving it for my Cup of Tea workshop series. Anyway, I was like, please make this piece of paper work because I let them use all my good supplies. I mean, hey, only the best, right? And I did teach them about color coordination and everything, but really they just used a lot of colors of ink that didn't really go together, but it was so cute seeing how they made robots. But then after that, they used my Cup of Tea supplies, and boy, they were using all kinds of color, the ink colors coordinating. All right, let's see what we did here. Let's see how it works. Let me tilt my camera. Are those cool or what? Imagine trying to cut those shapes out, right, and how long it would take us. So let's grab the ones that we just cut out, and you'll see the magic. Okay, we're going to take that one over here. Let's put a piece. I think we need something for contrast here. All right, we're going to put this here. So we have a piece. Wait, that must be this one. Look at that. Is that cool or what? Just gorgeous. I mean, I was so excited when I saw this. I was thinking I need to color my flowers with a glitter pen, with the Wink of Stella. And I was thinking of all this stuff. I was like, look at how fun these are. So then you just take your Stampin' Dimensionals and you pop up your different layers. Let me grab some. You don't need too many, but it's good for that extra added dimension. Maybe 3. 1, 2, 3. Pop those up. I always use my little ScanNCut as a trash bin. Stick it like that, and then, oops, did I flip it over? Where'd it go? There it goes. Nice little outline, just nice little layer. Now, as you increase your outline distances on your objects, you're going to see that you get less detail. So the next one will be a little bit smoother. The next layer will be smoother than that. And if you want to do a layer of glitter, like say gold paper or something, I recommend making that your third layer. Put one down there. So make that your third layer, like the glitter gold. What would be nice is like in the texture chic suite, there's this distressed gold. I'm just using some partial. These are dimensionals that are partial dimensionals. I use like every part of my dimensional pack. Go through these things like they're water. Oop, oop. Come on. I'm stuck on you. All right, so there we go. So that's what you would do with those. Because you're probably wondering, like, why does she do all this layering? Because of that. Okay, and that's tilt down. All right, I'm ready to say hello, talk more about sale-a-bration, show you my projects. Oh, lots of you guys, lots of crafty friends here today. Lots of stuff going on my channel. I guess I should have been trying to keep up along the way. So Lala came in first, Lala's Crafts. Melissa came in from San Antonio, Texas. Hello, Melissa. Donna's watching while driving. I hope you're not the one driving. But, oh, she's at a red light. Oh, she said I'm listening while I'm driving. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's not funny. Be safe, Donna. Okay, Yvonne, thank you for your congratulations. Yeah, so I knew you found me a long time ago because of the ScanNCut tutorials. Thank you. Hi, Denise and Dawn. Yeah, Pamela's catch-up videos. I've been on a lot of times. Pamela, maybe you're just being notified about the ScanNCut videos, but if you want to be notified about all crafty videos, be sure to put, boy, I got some thunder going on. Be sure to put like your little, click the bell to be notified, and you'll be notified of all videos, not just ScanNCut videos. There's a little bell under the videos, and that means to notify you. And if you think you hit it before, I don't know. I think there's like a spooky thing going on inside of YouTube where once in a while it erases all our settings. And then you have to kind of set it again. So even like on channels that I used to be notified all the time, sometimes I have to click the bell again because it disappears and everything. So, yeah. Anyway, what I'm about to do is show you this. All right, let me go back down. New South Wales. Deborah from New South Wales is here. Lisa. Yeah, even with cleaning the glass, it's not scanning well, Pamela. Okay, so you need to do scanning, cutting, position adjustment. All right. So all that. Well, I'm glad you guys are helping each other out with all the questions and everything and all the different things. And thank you for saying to do thumbs up if you like it. Yeah. So if you fuzzy cut on the flowers on the edges, you put some on the edges of cards. Okay, good idea. So Yvonne's saying like, you could cut these out. Well, the ScanNCut will cut out the edges too. If you put this in the middle of the mat, it will cut this out as one. But then she's saying Like she uses the edge of these edge flowers on the edge of cards. Well, I instead, what my approach to these edge flowers are, is I tend to just use the back and do die cutting and punching out the shapes. So I don't really like bother with all that. But you could just use I mean, it's a great idea to use, if you want to have a lot of flowers, to use the ones on the edge of cards. I mean, that is a great idea. But I also have so many on the outside. So yeah. I mean, not on the outside, on the, so much paper and so much, like I'm not worried about it. But yeah, and thank you, Deborah, for your comment, and Janet for congratulations and all that stuff. Well, oh, really? It's out of tea? The tea bundle's out of stock? Lala? That's a bummer. So maybe you could get the cup of tea stamp set and get the dies later when they come back in. So Yvonne's talking about she saw Robot Buddies. They were so cute doing the Robot Buddies. And I mean, I just love watching the kids' creativity. And hello, Jeanne from Oregon, Michelle from San Clemente, Paula from Ohio, Ginger from Wisconsin. I know, it's 4th of July soon. Isn't that wild? Poconos, I've been up there. Jane from the Poconos. I've been to Poconos in Pennsylvania. I think I learned to ski there, actually. That's a cool place. Okay, Bronin, awesome. All right, let's do this. I'm going to show you, I need to show you the thing that goes with this real quick. I'm going to get this one. All right, so this is what I'm going to show you. Because I know you all stay till you see my projects, and then you're just out of there. So I'm showing you this first before you take off and miss this. This is free, what I'm showing you, this paper, but you also get the stamp set for free. The way you get it for free is this stamp set is free. Wonderful World, the paper is free together. You can't get them separate. You can't buy them. You can only get this as a bundle. When you spend $100 at my Stampin' Up! Store, starting July 1st, so right around the corner, 2 days, starting July 1st, you will earn this item. It's a sale-a-bration item. I'm going to be getting tons of this paper. I love it. And right now I'm helping my mom make thank you cards. So what I did is I want to show you how this stamp set doesn't have any sentiments. So I was like, I need to make some thank you cards. So I was like, what could I use? And I just ran around grabbing other stamp sets to use with it. By the way, let me see if I haven't even used the stamp set, by the way. I'm going to open it for you guys, but I haven't used it. See, I'm going to actually offer this as a prize for my host code drawing. You know, this stamp set. One of my prizes. But they'll get a little bit of the paper as well. That's why I was trying to save some of the paper. Okay, here. I use Season of Chic, the word thanks, and this one here, and Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to show you those 3 cards first. These 3 cards. Okay, here. So I took this Season of Chic, the word thanks, stamped the Daffodil Delight first in the background. And here's how I'm using the embellishments. I also took one of our new masks. The masks are in this new catalog that's also coming out. These are things you can buy, all this stuff from this catalog. Can't open this yet either. But July 1st, this new mini catalog's coming out. And you can use, there's some masks in there. I forget the names of the masks in there, but there's these little masks you can decorate the backgrounds with. And again, this designer series paper is a celebration paper. This here, Season of Chic, is part of our annual catalog, so you can get this right now. It's available right now. Okay, so here's how I did it. I took the same concept, and I just kept repeating the concept. I just kept taking pieces of designer series paper and layering them up. I just used coordinating colors. This is a Mossy Meadow card. This is a Daffodil Delight card. And I just kind of pulled in the color. So since I was using a Daffodil Delight card background, I decided to use Daffodil Delight for the background here, for the background of the stamp. And then I just pulled in the different colors from the coordinating colors. Here's another one, and this is Mossy Meadow. And this time I put an extra layer of the designer series paper on it. Let me see if I can't tilt down to show you that a little better. So I put an extra layer of Mossy Meadow on it, or not Mossy Meadow, an extra layer of DSP on it because I thought this paper is very busy. These floral papers were very busy, and I thought, okay, put another piece of plain designer series paper on it as well, so that the flowers wouldn't be on top of other flowers, and so it would look a little better. So those are my first 3 cards, and it helps because my mom, who just turned 90, said that she needed a lot of thank you cards, and I wanted to make her a lot of thank you cards, so this was a great way of doing it. Now I'm going to show you, so this is simple. I would call this simple scan and cut skills, simple card making skills. I have tutorials on all these kinds of things. but you're just cutting out embellishments, slapping them on, a little bit of opal rounds, and this is like a 5-minute card, okay? I mean, it's very, very easy to make, and you just keep making more and more. This one just took a little bit more time because of the extra layering on the ScanNCut. So for this one, I did a little bit of die cutting. This was die cutting because I used stitching around the edges. If you were going to do die cutting with the ScanNCut, you could use this dash patterns, but they just don't come out as good as metal dies. And I'm always saying, use the right tool for the job. So I used these new stylish shaped dies by Stampin' Up. When I say new, they're in the they're in the annual catalog, I believe. And I used those. Now here's how I was talking about, you could have cut out these little tiny flowers here, your ScanNCut, but I think it's a lot easier to use this as a card background and then just cut out these gigantic flowers and put them on the top. Layer them up and you have an instant card with an instant floral background with layered look, and it looks professional and it doesn't take long at all. It just took a little longer because of the extra layers on your flowers. Here's what you can do with both the large ones. The background, again, I used rich raspberry, and you can also take one of these little flowers and you can just kind of put that down there, give it a little extra depth, and with the stylish shaped dies, you can just kind of put a little extra rectangle around it. If you don't have stylish shaped dies, and by the way, this was Daffodil Delight, this was Rich Raspberry, because I'm just using coordinating colors, and this was Rich Raspberry. Now this is my favorite. I always show my favorite card last. These are ones I made right just today. I had very little time because I had family, and they were like here, and they left, and then I just did all this. Like I didn't have the ScanNCut on my table. It was all put away. I pulled it out, did all this in no time because of the patterns that I can use over and over. I'm using just a 4-inch card base with a 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. I took the mask and I did a little bit of masking with that decorative mask and some of the Orchid Oasis. Used some rich raspberry paper, put some Orchid Oasis from one of the little cards. I just grabbed this out of my cup of tea crafty goodness pile. This little one back here. The thank you here is from Cup of Tea because the texture chic when it fit. So all 3 thank yous for that one. I took out of this one. Thank you, right? Thank you again. And then, there was one more of those. Okay? So this one you can either cut yourself a rectangle or use these stylish shapes. And look how you can take, it didn't matter which one I would have put. It doesn't matter if I grab this and I put it on there. It doesn't matter if I put this on there. Just because these are so spectacular and so big, just use one per card. Go ahead and make yourself a bunch of these with this free paper. Don't worry that you already get the paper and you're like, the next time you get an order, you get another pack of paper and a stamp set, because you can give the stamp set to a friend. If you get an extra stamp set, maybe some friends just like to stamp and maybe not do the paper part. So like you're going to get a pack of 12 sheets of double-sided 12 by 12 paper and a stamp set every time. I plan on getting lots more of the paper and giving away all the extra stamp sets. I probably won't even use this stamp set because I love the paper more. I mean, this is like what you would spend a lot of time making with the Stampin' blends, right? You'd be making this and coloring it. But now, boom, stick it on there. A couple of layers of DSP, you're good to go. So I hope that gives you some inspiration on what to do with this paper. Now you know how to get this paper. If you want to shop with me in the U.S., shop with me. There is a reason to shop this month. This month, we have a buy one, get one 50% off kit sale on all our kits. We also have a last chance sale because tomorrow items are retiring from our mini catalog, our other mini catalog. And we have a reason to shop July 1st, obviously, for the reason I just told you. You're going to be able to get this paper for free. When you place a $100 order, you'll get a stamp set and paper for free. Other sale-a-bration items you can choose from, I did some unboxing with. And of course, the mini catalog launching. So it's an exciting time for Stampin' Up. Thank you all for watching. Okay, thank you, Lala, for your comment about my tutorials. Thank you, Patricia, who just bought a ScanNCut. Thank you, Yvonne, for your comments about my cards. I'll pass on your birthday wishes, Linda, to my mom. It's very rare, right, that someone lives that long. She just had such an awesome life. So inspiring. She's also a crafty person too, by the way. She's a seamstress and she makes aprons and things, so it's really fun. I think some of her crafty stuff rubbed off of me. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef and Joanne from Canada, Big Daddy from Germany, Gail from Georgia. Thank you all. I might have missed some of you. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great day.